Are you manifesting a specific person? Are you manifesting new love? Maybe you're manifesting money. And now you're focused on future holidays coming up and worrying about not being able to spend those sexy little holidays with your lover, with your specific person. Maybe you're afraid that if you don't manifest money really soon, you're not going to have money to buy Christmas presents. If that's you and you are bracing for impact, you're going to want to watch this video. Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you're all doing amazing. I hope you're all choosing to be new self. If you are new here, how you doing? I'm Kimberly, and I am always sassy, a little bit sarcastic, a lot sarcastic. And I am obsessed with getting what I want. I love getting what I want. And if you're concerned about getting what you want, you're going to love hanging out with me. So why don't you subscribe and come back and see me? Okay? Let's start off with some basic bitch. If you need help figuring out what's going on between you and your manifestation, please feel free to email me at manifestingwithKimberly@gmail.com. All of my coaching options are in the drop box below. They're in the screens that just went by. I have 2 channel memberships where I go live with my channel members twice a week. I go live with them on Tuesdays with the exclusive lives group. I go live Tuesdays at 9:30 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. That is a zhuzh only group. We only talk success stories and tips and tricks. I also have the hot seat / group coaching. That is the group to join if you want to ask me specific questions about your specific circumstances. And if you join the hot seat group, you have access to both groups. Okay? It's 2 for 1. I have TikTok, I have Instagram, I have Clapper, and I would love for you to join me everywhere. And if you feel like hanging out with me outside of manifestation, well, come on over to Kimberly's Other Life. Join me over there. And thank you to all of you who already have. I appreciate you. But yeah, come over there, subscribe, and be my new friend, okay? I'm always open for new friends. Thank you very much. Right, Poop? Are we open for new friends? She just said yes. I'm pretty sure of that. Did you say yes? Did you say yes? Come here. She's got a toy. She's got big business with the toy. And she just walked away with it. So, today's video, we are talking about bracing for impact. Now, this is something I've talked about before, but we're going to bring it up again because it came up in my live stream yesterday. And I used a funny analogy that I will be using again. And I'm going to show this analogy here in a moment. Now, what is bracing for impact? Bracing for impact is, for example, when you are manifesting, let's say a specific person, and you have a birthday coming up in a month, and you are already worried that you won't have the specific person back, or you won't be in the relationship, even if you're manifesting a new love, if you're already dreading that you won't have manifested your new love by your birthday, so you're already preparing to be disappointed for a birthday that's a month away. Or better yet, you're worrying about Christmas or Halloween. And if you celebrate Halloween like I do, I get it. We go all out on Halloween. Halloween is equal to Christmas in my world, okay? But it is when we are manifesting something and we are preparing ourselves to not get it. It's called bracing for impact. Another example of bracing for impact is, let's say you're manifesting a specific person and you two have already made plans for a date this Saturday night. And today is Tuesday that I'm recording this. you are dreading that specific person is going to cancel. So every damn day this week, up until the last second of arrival to this date, you're worried. You shit yourself every time your phone goes off because you're assuming it's probably going to be a specific person canceling. I know that feeling, and I'm teasing you guys with the examples, but I get it. If you've ever experienced in your 3D world having someone disappoint you like that, having your feelings hurt, having, just rejection in itself, it is completely normal that those kind of doubtful thoughts are entering your mind. I just want to say that. So especially, let's say that you're manifesting a specific person that you've already had some kind of a relationship with, and in the past, they were known to consistently be canceling at the last minute on you. And I know that hurts. So again, I say this a lot in my videos. I say it in all my live streams and in obviously my coaching, that our feelings are valid. So we are never wrong for feeling the way we feel. Keep in mind, we are always perceiving our 3D world through the glasses of what state you are in, right? Every moment you are in a state. And when you are in a state, that's just another way of saying a version of self or a reality. When you are in a state, you're literally wearing filtered glasses, and you perceive everything in your 3D based off your filtered glasses. So due to our human conditioning, we have all been taught to listen, trust our five senses. Now, don't get me wrong. We want to trust our five senses when we are maneuvering around our 3D world. But when it comes to manifestation, our senses aren't important. They don't matter. And past experiences in our 3D also, they don't matter. So if a specific person has let you down in the past, if love has let you down in the past, if money has not shown up in time for you in the past, if you've been, I use the example of, manifesting money in order to buy Christmas presents. And if that is something that you have struggled with in the past or feared that you wouldn't have the money, you are making a decision about your manifestation based off past experiences. And the past experiences that you had, and especially if they were shitty, bear in mind, you had those experiences because of who you were being at that time. And more likely than not, the who you are right now in this moment is nowhere near the version of self that you used to be. In my opinion, I think everyone discovers manifestation in some semblance of a victim state. When we are believing, thinking, interpreting our 3D experience as happening to us, or that we are believing that people do things to us, we're in a victim state. Because honestly, our 3D world is happening through us. We are projecting out into the 3D, right? Our imagination is our true reality. Do you mind? When we are mentally preparing to be disappointed, we need to make a new decision of who we're being. I want to tell you that when you're manifesting anything, whether it's specific person, money, new job, new, health, appearance change, getting into school, getting specific grades, anything that you're manifesting, if you're already preparing yourself for it not to show up by a specific date, or by your birthday, or by Halloween, by Christmas, whatever is the future moment that you're dreading, it is really no different than one of my favorite Austin Powers movie scenes. And I'm going to insert it. And I want you to know that the guy screaming in this video is you, bracing for impact that you're not going to get your manifestation. It's not going to be here. So how do we deal with those thoughts, Kim? Well, we'll talk about that after this clip.
Watch out! Move! Move! Move!
Careful, Austin. Watch out!
Watch out!
Watch out!
That screaming dude was you. It was you, Mr. and Mrs. Bracing for Impact. Bracing for impact is not a state that we want to embody. That is not a version of self we want to be, because that is how silly we look. Literally. And by the way, I'm the one driving the car. I'm the one driving that little flattening steam machine or whatever it was, a steamroller. That was me. Move. Get out of the way. All right? Or you could look at it like it was God, the I am, or the universe. But seriously, the dude was a million miles away from the steamroller and just standing there screaming. That's what you're doing when you are preparing to not have what you want in time for your birthday, in time for vacation time, in time for Halloween, Christmas, on Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve, Easter, St. Patrick's Day. That is you. Okay? You got to think about that. We really need to put it in perspective who you are being in those moments. By this method, first desiring and then imagining that we are experiencing that which we desire to experience, we can mold the future in harmony with our desire. But let us follow the advice of the prophet and think only the lovely and the good. For the imagination waits on us as indifferently and as swiftly when our nature is evil as when it is good. From us spring forth good and evil. I have set before thee this day life and good and death and evil. Desire and imagination are the enchanter's wand of fable, and they draw to themselves their own affinities. So, that was Neville Goddard. What do I mean by this? Let's Kim that down. If you are worrying that you're not going to have your manifestation by whatever future date, or if you are worried that your specific person is going to cancel plans because you've experienced that with them before, who are you being in that moment? Let's authentically answer that question. Now, again, with manifestation, we don't have to be perfect. It is normal for us to have the occasional doubtful damn thought. We are human. It is normal. We do not have to be afraid of our thoughts. Number one, thoughts only have power when we choose them. But when we are sitting and dreading things happening or not happening, we're choosing those thoughts and we're sitting in them. And listen, when we're allowing ourselves to consistently drift off into imagination, preparing for the worst, I know it's not fun to spend important days or dates or holidays with the love of your life. I know that's not fun. I know it's not, okay? I've had that experience too. But I want you to help, but I want you to break out of that habit. Listen, every single one of us is conditioned. I mentioned this earlier. We're all conditioned to use our five senses and past experiences to make judgments and decisions in our 3D. We, through our human conditioning, have that habit. The seemingly harmless habit of talking to yourself is the most fruitful form of prayer. A mental argument with the subjective image of another is the surest way to pray for an argument. You are asking to be offended by the other when you objectively meet. He is compelled to act in a manner displeasing to you unless before the meeting you countermand or modify your order by subjectively affirming a change. Unfortunately, man forgets his subjective arguments, his daily mental conversations with others, and so is at a loss for an explanation of the conflicts and misfortunes of his life. As mental arguments can produce conflicts, so do happy mental conversations produce those corresponding visible states of good tidings. Man creates himself out of his own imagination. Now, why am I reading what seems like an inner conversation piece from Neville in the Bracing for Impact video? Well, it's because when you are choosing to embody the version of yourself that is concerned or bracing for impact that your person's going to cancel, or that you're not going to have your manifestation by whenever the next holiday, you in that moment are doing something up here. Whether it's, already arguing and getting upset that your person's going to let you down again. Listen, like I said earlier, we're all doing it out of conditioning, meaning our habit, our way of thinking, the habit of the way we think. We're doing that from conditioning. But this is where we are beginning to break that habit. Now, on this channel, we don't flip thoughts. We don't flip every single thought. If you don't know what that means every time you get a shitty thought, you instantly have to say all of your affirmations or else it'll manifest. That is not true. That is a limited belief. However, just because we're not thought flipping doesn't give you permission to select your thought, sit in it, marinate in it, start having inner arguments with whoever in regards to you not getting what you want. You don't have permission to do that, okay? That is no different than choosing to be that version of yourself. But the fact that the thought comes up, right? So let's say, we'll go back to the example of your person canceling on you this weekend. When that thought comes up, it's coming up out of habit from human conditioning. How to start to break that habit would be to just calmly tell yourself, no, not in my reality. I refuse to be the self that manifested that version of my specific person, or I am refusing to be old self. That does not happen in my reality anymore. That's not who I am. Now, do you have to do that every single time a thought comes up? No. But remember, we're in the midst of breaking a habit, and chances are you've been sitting in that dread, in that bracing for impact over and over and over again. So we are going to get you used to not being afraid of thoughts. So initially, you're going to tell yourself, not in my reality. That's not who I am, right? I am not the version of myself that manifested that shitty experience. I am new self. So not in my reality. Or even, I don't have to think about that right now. I'm not even going there. I don't have to think about that right now. Let's think about something else. Another really, really good technique to utilize if you find yourself bracing for impact is honestly, what if statements? What if affirmations? For example, a thought comes up telling you the SP is gonna friggin' cancel on you again. You hit back with, well, what if he doesn't? Now, what if SP actually shows up and we have the time of our life on Saturday, whenever your date is? What if I did get what I want? What if I did get to spend my birthday or all the holidays or every damn day with my specific person? What if that happened? What if the money did show up? What if I did get that job? What if? And you're going to notice with the what if statements, they're going to lead you to thinking more thoughts around you having what you want. So what if yourself? What if I did get it? What if SP actually showed up with roses and told me that he wants to spend the rest of his life with me? What if? I would have to tell him, well, you're only human. Just saying. No, but really, what if? What if it did work? What if you did get whatever you want? What if everything always really did work out for you? What if you did actually accept and believe and trust that you are a master manifester, actually getting whatever you want? What if you actually did finally see and perceive that every single thing you are experiencing is leading you to your manifestation? What if you were happy now? What if you realize this really is your turn and your time to be happy now? What if you realize that, oh my God, I don't have bad, old, human muggle habits anymore? What if I really did believe that I was always in the state of being limitless and flawless and knew comfortably and cockily that I'm having whatever I want. What if I was a multimillionaire? What if I was married to the love of my life and they treat me like a queen? What if yourself? You see what I'm saying? Redirect yourself until we broke the habit, or at minimum until you are standing in your brazen impudence that you are your new self and that you don't have to be afraid of your thoughts. We still got to choose. We still got to choose who we are being, whether you're choosing through affirmations, visualizations, inner conversations. The choice is up to you, even scripting, right? How you make the decision to be your new self is completely up to you. But we want to get to the place of, I don't have to be afraid of my thoughts. Thoughts are just thoughts. Thoughts just come up. But I'm going to tell you right now that as you get to the place of not fearing your thoughts, you're not going to fear the doubtful thoughts either. You're not going to fear them. And you're going to realize they have no power unless I say so. But sitting in that bracing for impact habit is something that we are going to actively choose new self. And maybe that's a moment for you to remind yourself of who the hell you really are, which is pure unadulterated consciousness. And I'm no longer sitting in that habit. I'm no longer choosing that. That's not who I am. I'm the version of self that always gets what she wants. I am the version of myself that doesn't get disappointed. I don't get canceled on. That's not who I am. That was old self, and I am not old self anymore. Even if you took a second to affirm yourself that. Again, I'm not trying to put the pressure on you that you got to affirm every time a thought comes up. I'm just saying you don't have permission to sit in that nervousness. Now, your body might not instantly feel better. You might still be feeling a little bit on the anxiety side, but guess what? We are not here to convince your body. We are here to make a new decision. So your body will catch up. Your body is stuck in the same habit that your mind was in. The body will catch up with your new decision to be new self. Don't stress that. Remember, your body's in the 3D. And the 3D is always what we see and experience at least a second or two behind us. Okay? So when you catch yourself bracing for impact again, when you catch yourself being that dude in the Austin Powers movie, you're going to tell yourself that that's not who you are anymore. And there's nothing to worry about. I don't have to fear future events because I am the version of self that gets what she wants. I spend important days. Better yet, I spend every single day with my specific person. And you know what? That is something that I wanted to experience myself. And that is something I told myself when I was deciding to be new self, that I spend my life with my specific person, meaning I'm with my specific person every single day. I spend my life with specific person. We are together. That is who I am. I am the version of myself that is experiencing the most amazing relationship with the most amazing version of my specific person. And I am the girl that gets to choose how her relationships play out. And what I am choosing is I am the version of me who spends every single day with my specific person. I am that me. Whether that means marriage to you, just a relationship, a living together, you get to determine what that means for you. But for me, it meant living together. And I knew that without having to spell that out. And some days I did say it. I live with my specific person. I'm in the most happiest relationship in my life. That's who I am now. There are no rules. Right? As long as what you're doing, manifestation technique every day implies you have what you want, you can change it up, be various, use varying affirmations if you'd like. The power is not in the affirmation. The power is not in the visualization. The power is not in the scripting. It's not in the inner conversation. The power is in your imagination and who you're choosing to be. So who are you choosing to be? The dude in Austin Powers? or the version of you who's spending any and every moment living joy and fulfillment in every single area of your life. I think you should choose to be that instead. Don't worry about the anxious feelings that your body is used to giving you because of your habit of bracing for impact. It will catch up with you. Choose differently. And on that note, I'll see you tomorrow. She doesn't care. This is gonna stay in at the end of the video. I'm gonna clip this. Do you mind? Poop. It's kind of rude. It's kind of rude. Okay. Can you do your itching off camera? Maybe? Oh, she got the prettiest ears. Can you? Are you a pretty girl? Are you pretty? Are you so pretty? Isn't she pretty? Oh, you're such a nice girl. She's so nice. Okay. So, when we are mentally prepared, to poop, now's not the time. Do you mind? Right now is not the time for you to play with your toy. I'm busy. All right. The fuck was I just saying? And now the fire alarm is going on. Lovely. The night watchman is concerned over the alert. Oh my God, Kim, shut up. Okay, so